Shabbat Shalom. Y'all. Oh no. My Torah portion is Ki Tisa. What is written about Moses in Ki Tisa fascinates me. He is a messenger from God, but he thinks for himself. He is not a pushover. He argues with God. I am interested in Moses because he embodies the power to change. Moses exemplifies giving second chances and the wisdom of not judging someone on their worst day. Tomorrow does not have to be the same as today. That's the bit of wisdom that my mother gave me, even though we weren't an observant family. I'm getting my second chance today. This always breaks me up. To come closer to my tribe. For several weeks, we've been listening to stories in the Torah and the inspiration the stories yield. I feel humbled by what I have heard and learned. Who am I to decipher and convey meaning from Torah? Then in my research, I read a quote from the 11th century commentator, Rashi, who said, "I admit I don't know what the verse wants to tell us." Rashi's questioning gave me courage. The events described in Ki Tisa are dramatic. Moses bringing down the tablets from Mount Sinai to the Israelites with commandments from God. Coming down from the mountain, he finds the Israelites have created a golden calf idol, and they are celebrating it, worshiping it. They didn't believe Moses would return. This is when Moses smashes in anger the stone tablets God had given him to convey to the Israelites the laws and practices of the covenant. We are told in the Torah that Moses saw himself as flawed because of an imperfection, a speech impediment. This leader, with his own human frailties, is shown to us to be compassionate when God smites some of the Israelites for creating the idol and worshiping it. Moses says to God, "If you kill them, kill me too." And then we see Moses ascending Mount Sinai a second time, bearing 2 new tablets for God to inscribe. New commandments and more guidance for the Israelites are added to these new tablets. Introducing the second tablets with their added directives from God can be interpreted as the Israelites being given a second chance to honor a covenant with God. It's been said that the Torah is longer than the earth and broader than the sea. Moses' face bears the mark of having sat with God on Mount Sinai. When he comes down from Mount Sinai the second time, his face is changed. The skin on his face is iridescent and shiny. He bears the mark of having been so close to the eternal that he is changed. I am a visual artist, and I see in pictures more than words. There's supposed to be some words on the screen, some pictures. What could be a more vivid image than the description of Moses pleading with God to spare the Israelites? The eternal atop a mountain, the community of fire, the mark of connection to God born on Moses' face. All of these images are unforgettable, alive, thousands of years later. And what meaning can we find in the image of the shattered tablets? As in the creation of sculptures, broken shards can be assembled and reassembled to form new meanings, new relevance. For me, making art is the process of creating meaning, sending out an aspiration for a more inclusive, humane world. The sculptures you see you're seeing on the screen are part of a series I started when I was coming out as a lesbian. In those days, 30 years ago, I was an art teacher in the Hamptons. I felt like I wasn't free to express my true self. I heard the science teacher in my school say out loud in the teacher's lounge, all gay people should be quarantined. I wanted to use my art to spread compassion toward all people. These figures are without defined features, the better to offer a message of universality. They are meant to assert that there is human connection beyond our outer shells. And like the mark of heat and flame worn by Moses, the foundry fire that casts my sculptures is transformative. My simple materials of wax and wood that I carve with a penknife heated by the flame of a candle are cast in a mold, and liquid bronze is poured into the mold. The mold is broken open, and my sculptures emerge as figures in poses of caring and compassion. My small bronze figures are aspirational. Can we promote healing and strengthen our mutual bonds of humanity by putting positive images into the world? I hope so. Shabbat Shalom.